Look at me. Right now, I want you to do something for me. Put your hand on your chest. Feel that? That tightness? That's worry, my friends. That's the boulder you've been carrying, and I see it. I see every single one of you carrying something heavy today. Let me tell you something honest. For 23 years in the monastery, I watched students walk through those doors with the same haunted eyes that couldn't rest, minds racing at 3 in the morning, and you know what they all believed? They believed their worry was keeping them safe. They thought if they worried enough, they could control the future. Can I be direct with you? That's a lie. Worry has never, not once, protected anyone from anything. It just steals your now. The Buddha said something that changed my life. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. Do you hear what he's saying? Your worry isn't preparing you for tomorrow. It's becoming your today. Every anxious thought is building another brick in the wall between you and peace. I remember this businessman, successful guy, beautiful family, everything the world says you should want. He came to me barely sleeping, chest tight every single morning. And he says to me, Venerable, I have to worry. I have responsibilities. So I asked him, and I want you to think about this question too. Show me one problem that worry has ever actually solved. He couldn't answer, not one problem. Stay with me here, because this is important. Worry is a habit, not a necessity. You learned it. That means you can unlearn it. Think about children for a moment. Watch how they move through the world. They fall down, they cry, and 30 seconds later they're laughing again. You know why? They haven't built the prison yet. They haven't learned to replay yesterday's pain over and over, or rehearse tomorrow's disasters in their heads. You were that child once. That freedom, it's still inside you, buried under years of conditioning, yes, but it's there, waiting. Here's what I want you to do right this moment. Take one deep breath with me, just one. Notice, really notice, your body is breathing you without your worry, without your permission, without your management. Your heart is beating, your blood is flowing, life is living you. Can you trust that? Can you trust just for this one breath that maybe you don't have to control everything? This is where we begin together, not with perfection, not with never worrying again, but with seeing the prison bars clearly. Because, my friends, you cannot open a door you don't know exists. Are you with me? Good. Let's walk this path together. Listen to me carefully now. I'm going to teach you something the Buddha taught me, and it's going to make everything make sense. We call them the 3 poisons, tanha, dosa, and moha, craving, aversion, and delusion. These 3 things, they're the gasoline on your worry's fire. Let me break this down so you really get it, really understand it. First poison, tanha, craving. Raise your hand if you worry about getting something you want. Go ahead, be honest. Yeah, I see you, all of you. You want the promotion, you want their love. You want security, certainty, guarantees that life will go according to your plan. And there's nothing wrong with wanting things. I'm not telling you to become a stone. But when you crave so hard that this moment right now isn't enough, that's when worry plants its roots deep. I had a student, beautiful soul, who worried constantly about her relationship. Every day the same spiral. What if he leaves? What if I'm not enough? And I said to her, tell me, right now in this exact moment, is he here? Yes. Right now, do you love him? Yes. Then right now you have everything. The worry is about a future that doesn't even exist yet. Do you see what I'm saying? Second poison, dosa, aversion. This is the flip side. You worry because you're pushing away what you don't want. Show of hands. Who's worried about losing something? About failure, rejection, illness? Yeah, all of us. We use worry like a shield, thinking if we brace ourselves hard enough the pain won't reach us. But listen, it doesn't work that way. The resistance itself becomes the suffering. Third poison, moha, delusion. This is the big one, the one that gets all of us. You worry because you believe your thoughts about reality more than you believe reality itself. You think your story about what might happen is more real than what's actually happening right now. You've confused the map for the territory, my friends. Let me say that again. You've confused the map for the territory. Here's the truth I've learned over decades. Worry is desire in disguise. It's your ego saying, I need life to go according to my plan. But life has its own plan. And the more you fight that, the more you suffer. These three poisons work together. You crave, you resist, you get confused about what's real, round and round. The Buddha called it the wheel of suffering, samsara. But here's the beautiful part. You can step off that wheel, not someday, today, right now. By seeing these poisons clearly, by naming them when they show up, you begin to break their power over you. Let that sink in for a moment. Just let it sink in. Okay, I'm going to tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. Stay with me. You ready? Here it is. You control almost nothing at all. No, don't close up on me. Don't walk away. Listen. You don't control whether you get sick. You don't control other people's choices. You don't control the economy, the weather, traffic, who lives, who dies. You don't even control most of your own thoughts. They just show up, don't they? Like clouds passing through the sky of your mind. And yet you exhaust yourself trying to manage every outcome, anticipate every problem, prevent every disappointment. It's killing you, my friends. Slowly, silently, it's stealing your life while you're busy trying to control it. Let me tell you what happened to me. I spent 7 years in a monastery in Tibet where every morning, every single morning, we'd wake at 4 o'clock and before meditation, we'd recite this. I release my grip on outcomes. I trust the unfolding. That's it. Simple words. You know how long it took me before I meant them? 3 years. 3 years of saying those words through gritted teeth, feeling like I was betraying myself by letting go. And then one morning, I'll never forget this, I was sitting by the window watching snow fall, and I realized something that changed everything. The snow doesn't worry about where it lands. The river doesn't stress about the rocks in its path. The sun doesn't doubt whether it should shine today. They just are. They participate fully in their nature without resistance. This is what the Buddha meant by going with the current of life. Not being passive, that's not what I'm teaching you, but being responsive instead of reactive, being present instead of bracing for impact. Here's the paradox, and really think about this with me. When you stop trying to control everything, you actually have more influence. Why? Because you're not wasting energy on what you can't change. You're directing it where it matters, your responses, your choices, your presence in this moment. Let me give you something practical you can do tonight. Before you sleep, think of 3 things you've been worrying about. Write them down. Then honestly ask yourself, can I control this outcome? If the answer is no, write next to it, I release my grip. If the answer is yes, write, I'll take 1 action tomorrow. That's it, not 10 actions, 1. Because surrender isn't giving up, it's giving over. It's trusting that you're part of something larger, something that's been unfolding for billions of years before you worried your first worry. Freedom doesn't come from controlling life, my friends. It comes from dancing with it. Can you feel that? Can you feel the possibility of that freedom? Stop. Right now, just stop for a second. I want to ask you something. In this exact moment, are you okay? I mean truly, right now, not tomorrow, not if something happens, not if your worry comes true. Right now, in this moment, are you breathing? Is your heart beating? Are you alive? Yes, yes, you are. This is what we miss, my friends. This is what worry steals from us, the absolute miracle of now. I want to tell you about a moment I had years ago that I returned to again and again. I was walking to morning prayers, completely lost in thought, worrying about this difficult student, planning what I'd say to him, rehearsing conversations in my head. And suddenly this bird landed right on the path in front of me. Just a simple brown bird, and it looked at me. I swear to you, it looked right at me, and it sang 3 clear notes, and something in me just stopped. I was suddenly completely present. I could feel the cool morning air on my skin, smell the incense from the temple, hear every single sound with perfect clarity. And I realized something that broke my heart. I'd been walking this path every day for 5 years, and I'd never actually been there, not once. My body walked, but my mind was always somewhere else. The Buddha taught this as sati, mindfulness. But don't let the fancy word fool you. It's so simple it's almost embarrassing. It means be where you are. That's it. You know what's beautiful about the present moment? It's never the problem. Think about that with me for a second. When you're really truly present, not thinking about being present but actually in it, there's no worry. Worry lives in the imagined future or the ruminated past. But right now is almost always okay. Sometimes even more than okay. Here's what I tell my students, and I want you to hear this. Your mind is like a terrible movie theater that's playing 2 films at once. One screen is showing everything that went wrong, and the other is showing everything that might go wrong. And you're sitting between them, head spinning back and forth, missing the only film that matters, the one that's actually real, happening right now. Try this with me, right now. Put your hand on your heart. Feel it, that's your heartbeat. You didn't make that happen. You didn't worry it into existence. It's just there, faithfully beating, keeping you alive without you having to do anything. This moment, just this one, is a gift. That's why we call it the present. I'm not saying ignore the past or never plan for the future. Learn from yesterday, yes. Plan for tomorrow, absolutely. But don't live there. Visit. Make your plans, learn your lessons, then come back to now, because this moment, this breath, this heartbeat, this is your life, not the one you're worried about, this one, the one happening right now. Let that truth sink deep into your bones. My dear friends, I want to teach you about Khanti. In Pali, the Buddha's language, it means patience, but not the kind where you're gritting your teeth, white-knuckling it, barely holding yourself together. No, the Buddha meant something much deeper. Patience as acceptance of the way things unfold. Patience as trust in the process. I know what you're thinking right now. Venerable, I can't just sit around waiting while life happens to me. I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities. And listen, I'm not asking you to do that. Khanti isn't passive. It's actually the most active thing you can do. It's choosing to work with reality instead of against it. Think about planting a seed with me. You put it in the ground. You water it. You make sure it gets sunlight. Then what? Then you wait. You don't dig it up every single day to check if it's growing, do you? You don't stand over it yelling, "Grow faster, why aren't you a tree yet?" You don't worry yourself sick wondering if it's developing roots. You trust the process. You practice Kanti. Your life is like that seed. Your healing is like that. Your relationships, your career, your peace of mind, all of it unfolds in its own time, according to its own rhythm. And worry? Worry is like digging up that seed every day, demanding to see progress, panicking that nothing's happening fast enough. Let me tell you a story. When I was 32 years old, I got very sick, dangerously sick, the kind of sick where the doctors weren't sure I'd make it, and I was terrified. Here I was, meditating for years, teaching about non-attachment, and suddenly I was clinging to life with every fiber of my being. The fear was overwhelming. My teacher, this old monk who'd seen everything, he came to my bedside one evening. He sat down, didn't say much, just sat there for a while. Then he looked at me and said, "Tenzin, the river flows to the ocean whether you worry about the rocks or not." That's all he said. The river flows to the ocean whether you worry about the rocks or not. And somehow, in that moment, I understood. My body would heal or it wouldn't. Worry wouldn't change that outcome, but it would steal whatever time I had left, whether that was days or decades. So I made a choice. Every time the worry came, and it came a lot, I'd say to it, "Not yet. Right now, I'm here. I'm breathing. That's enough." And you know what? My body did heal, but more importantly, I stopped wasting my life fighting reality. Here's what I want you to practice. When you feel impatient, when you're worried about timing, ask yourself, what's trying to unfold right now that I'm resisting? Because worry is always resistance. It's you saying, "No, not like this, not this slow, not this way." But life says, "Yes, exactly like this." And the moment you align with that, not giving up, but giving in to what is, everything changes. The burden lifts. You're no longer swimming against the current. You're flowing with it. Be patient with yourself too. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. Some days you'll remember these teachings. Some days you'll forget completely. That's okay. That's human. That's the practice. Look at me. I need every single one of you to hear this next teaching. Everything changes. Everything. Your worry, your joy, your problems, your blessings, none of it stays. The Buddha called this anicca, impermanence. And I'm telling you, understanding this one truth can set you completely free. You want to know what most of your worry is really about? You're trying to make permanent what's temporary. You want to freeze the good moments. You want to prevent the bad ones. You want guarantees about a future that's always shifting and changing. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. I watch people come to me suffering because a relationship ended, because they lost a job, because their health declined, because they're getting older. And I feel such compassion because I understand that pain. We want things to stay. We want stability. We want to know what's coming. But wanting permanence in an impermanent world, that's the root of dukkha, of suffering. Let me tell you what changed everything for me. I was sitting in the monastery garden one autumn evening, watching leaves fall, one by one, red and gold, floating down to the ground, and I thought, how beautiful, not how sad that they're dying, not how tragic that summer's over, just how beautiful. That's when I got it, really got it deep in my bones. The leaves don't resist falling. The tree doesn't mourn letting them go. Spring doesn't cling desperately to summer. Winter doesn't fight the coming of spring. Nature understands what we've forgotten, that endings make way for beginnings, that death and birth are partners in this dance, that nothing real is ever truly lost. Your worry, yes, your specific worry right this moment, it's impermanent too. The thing that feels so heavy today, that keeps you awake at night, it will change, it will shift, it will transform. New worries will come, and guess what? They'll pass too. Can you see the pattern here? All right, my friends, we've walked together through a lot of understanding. Now comes the practice. Because knowledge without application, that's just philosophy. And philosophy won't save you when anxiety hits you at 3 in the morning and your mind is racing. Listen carefully. I'm going to give you 5 practices, not 50. 5. Because I've learned over decades of teaching that what people need is simple, doable, daily practices, not some perfect system that falls apart after a week. First practice, the morning refuge. Before you check your phone, and I mean before you even touch that phone, before you feed the worry monster with news and emails and messages, I want you to sit up in bed and take 3 conscious breaths. That's it. Just 3 breaths where you're actually present with the breathing. Then say this, either out loud or in your mind. Today I choose presence over worry. Set that intention. Do this every single morning. I don't care how rushed you think you are, you have time for 3 breaths. Second practice, the pause button. Throughout your day, when you notice worry rising, and you will notice it now because you're becoming aware, pause. Literally stop what you're doing for just 5 seconds. Label what's happening. This is worry. Don't judge it, don't fight it, just name it. Then ask yourself, what's actually real right now? Return to your senses. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you feel? Ground yourself in this moment. Do this 10 times a day if you need to, 100 times. Each pause is a victory. Third practice, the gratitude inventory. Every evening before bed, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for from that day. Not big things necessarily. The warm shower, the good coffee, the fact that you're still breathing, the smile from a stranger. This rewires your brain, my friends. Worry trains your mind to look for threats. Gratitude trains it to look for blessings. You're literally changing how your brain sees the world. Fourth practice, the surrender ritual. Once a week, I do mine on Sunday evenings. Write down everything you're worried about, everything. Get it all out on paper. Then one by one, ask yourself honestly, can I actually control this? If the answer is yes, write down 1 small action you'll take. If the answer is no, write next to it, I release this with trust. Then burn the paper. Yes, actually burn it safely in a bowl or fireplace. Let the smoke carry your worries up and away. This is symbolic, yes, but symbols work powerfully on the human mind. Fifth practice, the loving kindness meditation. Before you go to sleep, spend just 5 minutes sending compassion first to yourself. Say these words, may I be free from worry, may I be at peace, may I trust life as it unfolds. Then extend it outward to your loved ones, to people you struggle with, to all beings everywhere. This practice softens the heart, and a soft heart doesn't hold on to worry as tightly. These aren't magic spells. They won't make your challenges disappear, but I promise you, and I've seen this hundreds of times, if you do these practices consistently for 30 days, your relationship with worry will fundamentally change. Not because worry stops visiting, but because you stop inviting it to move in and take over your whole house. Start today, right now, in this moment, not tomorrow when you feel more ready, now. My dear friends, we've come to the end of our journey together today. But really, this is just the beginning for you, because everything I've shared isn't about me, or the Buddha, or some monastery far away. It's about you, your life, your freedom, the opening that's waiting for you right now. Let me tell you what happens when you stop worrying, not perfectly, we're never perfect, but genuinely, when you release the grip and trust the unfolding of your life. First you notice space, space in your mind, space in your chest, space in your days. All that mental energy you were using to run worst-case scenarios, suddenly it's available for creativity, for presence, for actual joy. I watch this happen with students all the time. They come back to see me 6 months later and they're different people, lighter. Their whole face has changed, their eyes are clear. Second, your relationships deepen in ways you can't imagine right now, because when you're not lost in worry about what might happen, you can actually be with people as they are. You can listen without planning your response. You can love without constantly bracing for loss. And people feel this shift in you. They're drawn to your presence like flowers turning toward the sun. Third, and this is the truly beautiful part, opportunities appear that you couldn't see before. Not because life suddenly changed, but because you're finally present enough to notice them. The worried mind is like wearing dark glasses all the time. Everything looks threatening. When you take them off, you see colors you'd forgotten existed. I think of that businessman I told you about in our first chapter. 2 years after our first meeting, he came back to the monastery. He barely looked like the same person. "Venerable," he said to me with tears in his eyes, "I didn't get everything I worried about. Some things I feared, they actually happened, but I'm free. For the first time in my adult life, I'm free. That's what I want for you. Not a life without challenges. That's not possible. That's not even the goal. But a life where challenges don't become catastrophes in your mind before they even arrive. A life where you trust yourself to handle what comes. A life where this present moment is finally enough. Here's what I know after all these years of practice and teaching. You have everything you need already. The peace you're seeking isn't somewhere in the future, waiting for you after you've solved all your problems. It's here, right here, underneath the worry, waiting patiently for you to remember it. So let me leave you with this final practice, this final teaching. Every single time you catch yourself worrying from now on, smile. Yes, smile. Not because worry is funny, but because you've noticed it. You're awake. And in that moment of noticing, you're free to choose differently. Choose presence, choose trust, choose life as it actually is, not as your worry says it might become. My friends, go forward from here with courage. Share what you've learned with others who are suffering. Be patient with yourself when you forget, and you will forget sometimes. And always remember, when you stop worrying, when you truly release that grip, life doesn't just open up for you. You open up to life. And that's when the real adventure begins. Thank you for walking this path with me today. Thank you for your courage to look at your worry honestly. Thank you for being here right now in this moment, choosing something different. Go in peace, my friends. Trust the unfolding and know that you're never, ever alone on this journey. With all my heart, I bow to the light and wisdom that lives in each one of you.